Hi everyone, Kathy here. I just wanted to do a quick video today about using BB cream and Mineral Touch pressed powder versus using our liquid foundation. In the winter time, I love the BB cream because it's so hydrating, and then I don't have to use as much moisturizer. I do moisturize every morning and every evening, but I felt like when I use any type of foundation, not just our foundation, that I was having to add moisturizer a lot in the winter. I live in the Pacific Northwest where it's pretty cold and my face gets pretty chapped, and I feel with the BB cream I don't have to use it as much, and I'm loving that. My face looks a little crazy today. I had an allergic reaction to an avocado last night. Crazy, I know. And I had a rash right here. So I've already put on concealer, and I wish I could have done it before and after for you. I was trying to. My husband sent me a text and it cut off my video, but I had a major rash. The concealer has completely covered it up, and then I had one little blemish right here. With that being said, normally if you want to use concealer for cover up, you want to use same shade as your typical foundation. But I used one shade lighter because that's what I used to highlight. So I did highlight, and I didn't want to have to go use a second one, just me. Okay, anyway, so I always start with Glorious Primer. I've already put that on. I just put a little bit on my hands and then rub it on my face. It really helps the powder. This is more like a moisturizer, so it doesn't need the primer as much, but the powder really does. So it definitely helps having the primer. This is in Bisque, just so you know. It's the second to lightest color there is. I have some freckles, so I use the Bisque to kind of blend the freckles. If I use the lighter one, then it doesn't cover up my freckles. I use my foundation brush. It's almost like a paintbrush, but I dab it on and then literally paint, always going out. You can use your hands to put on BB cream, and that's totally fine because it is like a moisturizer. But if you've already put on the primer, I would suggest using the brush because it really gets it into where you want it to get, and you don't want your hands to rub off the primer. That's what I found sometimes happens. And I feel like I get a more even coverage. If you want a really heavy coverage with your BB cream, you can definitely use more than what I used and use your hands. You'll get a more coverage with your hands than with the brush. At least in my experience. I don't know, everybody's a little bit different on how they put on their makeup, but that's just me. Okay. And I could put 1,000 coats of any type of foundation on my nose, and my tip of my nose will always be red. I have a funny shaped nose. I have like this little tip right here. It will always be red. Anyway, so after that, I then use the pressed powder. Pressed powder is awesome. It comes with a sponge, but it comes with this protector so your sponge doesn't hit your powder. That keeps your oils from getting into your powder, which makes your powder not harden up and last longer. I, however, use our powder brush. I love this brush. I just dab it in there like that. It's not a whole lot that I get in there, but I feel like with the brush, I can help kind of blend the BB cream. Okay, so I do a blending motion with my brush. And I just like the feel of that better. If you want a lot heavier coverage, of course, use the sponge. Get into your creases where you really want that coverage. I don't typically have a lot of blemishes that I'm covering up, and I'm literally just blending my freckles, so I don't need heavy coverage. This is perfect for me. But you can go as heavy or light on coverage with BB cream as you want, which is the great part. So when that part's done, then I just add a little blusher. Asher. Then I just add a little blusher and a little bronzer, a little lip, and I'm ready to go. If you have any questions, you know who to ask. I hope you all have a wonderful day.